Buongiorno everyone, hello from Myrtha. I'm here at Agricola Foradori. We are in the beautiful Dolomites. The nice mountains you see behind me are not the tallest one, they're pretty small compared to the rest of them. And I'm here to show you a little bit of my radicchio production. So first of all, Foradori is a wine estate, and we started since last year to include also vegetable production. We are a biodynamically working wine estate, so including different crops is very important to us. So luckily I have a passion for vegetables, especially radicchio, of course, and so the inclusion of different crops and new ways of production is very replenishing for everyone to see that the wine can support different projects, because I am a little startup here basically. I have the lucky let's say addition of the wine that brings an income that can sustain my first year and second year investments. And the vegetable production here is pretty small. It's just 1,500 square meters. We're gonna see the field here in Mezzo Lombardo. So we are actually in the Dolomites, north of Verona, about an hour and a half from the Austrian border, just to give you a geographical insight. Latitude is 46, so we're almost like Portland. Portland is, I think, 45.5, and we're at 46 here. And basically, I've been growing radicchio only for 3 years. First year of production was while I was still farming in Quebec at Ferme les Quatre Temps, where I insisted on growing radicchio pretty successfully, even with working with varieties that were not super consistent. Now the market, thanks to all the great folks that are behind Chicory Week and Culinary Breeding Network, the seed market is much better. You're gonna get your hands on really great seeds from Smarties, from Italy, and Levantia. So here actually I work with a nursery, a local nursery that makes organic transplants, and I buy from them. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly where they get their radicchio from, and there's some inconsistency, especially in the Mantovano type, so the Rosalba. And I will just walk you through this line of radicchio where I have different types growing, and I transplanted really late this year because I was trying to get into winter to start picking radicchio only in like January, when they really get the nice frost. Okay, here. So as you can see, it's October 21st, and my radicchio Treviso Precoce are really behind here. But I have a different field further south where they are getting on better. Unfortunately, the deer had a party in the radicchio and ate them all. So this is just like a piece that I kept here to see how are they going to develop differently, transplanted in a different space. Here, unfortunately, because of the vineyards and because of these beautiful mountains around me, the sun goes down really early already. So by 3 p.m. I don't have direct sunlight anymore. So Castelfranco friends, here are some fantastically doing Castelfranco. Again, a little behind on closing up. As I said, it's pretty inconsistent seed here. But they are very pretty. So look at this one. We know that Castelfranco has also a hard time to be consistent in terms of being all the same, but we like variety, right? Ta-da! There you go. You can tell this will be a pink Mantovano radicchio because we see already some colors coming up. So okay, this one is really ugly in terms of it's very behind, but you can tell something is going on here that's gonna be pink. But as I said, I think pretty inconsistent seed that he used at the nursery. So I will see, and I'll call him once they are ready, if they're gonna get ready, because again, the mountains are shading up a lot of sun. By 3 p.m. there's no sunlight anymore here, and because I transplanted super late. The vineyards here, so Foradori is 30 hectares of mainly Teraldigo production, and I started to grow, you see in between the vineyards, different kind of vegetables. The best seller and the best growing one is chard. Chinese cabbage does really well. Salads do well. Dino kale, Cavolo Nero does really well. And radicchio does really well. So this is my very, very pretty radicchio precoce. So this is Trevigiano type, so it's gonna be the long elongated one. They're starting to closing up. The colors are beautiful, still very behind. There's not a lot of heads, they're actually big and already firm. Here you can tell I used landscape fabric. I mainly use landscape fabric between the vineyards because there is enormous weed pressure. As you can see, it's October 21st and the weeds are having a party. So here there's some of them, they're starting to close up. As I said, I'm really worried about not getting to the perfect maturation because the sun goes down. Now it's early in the morning, not early, it's like 10 a.m. but it's gonna go down here behind that mountain at 3 p.m. and soon it's gonna be 2 p.m. So we'll see. Maybe they're just gonna overwinter well and they'll keep growing in February, which is what I really like. That's why I transplanted so late. I'd like to pick them January, starting January. And we're going over here to Lusia. I planted a lot of Lusia, again, pretty late. We'll see what happens. I think this one, if it goes through, if it balls up, if it's gonna get a little bit of nice cold nights, it's gonna be really pretty. But again, it's very behind. So as you can see, I'm still experimenting a lot. I'm hoping next year to do my own plants, to have more consistency, to get the seeds from Smarties Bio, which I'm pretty sure they have a better consistency in germination and also in their variability. I do love variability in chicories, so even if they don't look all the same, I still gonna get them, Andrea. Don't worry if you're listening, Andrea. And basically, one little project I have aside is growing Arch Cape chicory from Ayers Creek Farm. I was lucky enough to work with Anthony and Carol to get some seeds from them that we selected together back in 2016, and I have planted some of them last year. They overwintered pretty well, and I selected a couple of plants from this year's production and I tried to isolate them as much as I could. While the seeds were ready to harvest, I was giving birth to my little San Pacifico, so I don't have many seeds of them that I could collect shortly later. So hopefully some of those seeds survived, and I hope I have enough. I haven't checked yet, I haven't threshed the plants yet, that I can seed them next year and see if my selection had some success. So I'm really hoping to succeed in my own selection of Arch Cape chicory. It's a late Trevigiano type, and it's heart-shaped and it's forced in the ground, and I think I have a good field for that down in the new fields. So we'll stay tuned on that. That's gonna be for next year. Hopefully you're gonna come visit and can see the Arch Cape chicories yourself in the field next year. And until then, I'll wish you a wonderful chicory week. Stay rad and always bitter.